All you ladies and gents out there enjoying the smooth sounds of the interwebs radio, Geico's got a special dedication to make. This one goes out to the inventors of the mouse. Because of you and your rodent-inspired design, people can click on over to geico.com to pay their bills, manage their claims, and live lives of pure savings. Mouse Masters, you've clicked your way into our hearts for good. Enjoy this next song. It's going out to you. Geico, 15 minutes could save you hundreds on car insurance.
This episode of Mohr Stories is brought to you by our good friends at Sherry's Berries. Dig it for a guaranteed sure thing on Valentine's Day. Send her a great gift. Think about what you may get in return for a good Valentine's gift. Give and you shall receive. Giant freshly dipped strawberries from Sherry's Berries starting at $19.99. Over a 40% savings, my friend. Or double the berries for just $10 more. You just need my code, MOHR, M-O-H-R, when you order. These can be dipped in white milk and dark chocolatey goodness, topped with chocolate chips, decorative swizzle, or nuts. 40% off from Sherry's Berries. Enormous, romantic, fresh, juicy, mouth-watering berries. I always have to order 3 orders because me and my wife sneak down in the middle of the night and eat them when the other one isn't looking. Here's the only way to get this amazing Valentine's Day deal. Giant freshly dipped strawberries starting at $19.99 or double the berries for just $10 more. Visit berries.com, B-E-R-R-I-E-S, berries.com. Berries.com. Click on the microphone in the top right corner and type in MOHR, my last name, M-O-H-R, for the good deal. Go to berries.com, click on the microphone and type in M-O-H-R. Order today. Sherry's Berries.
Put your name on it. Just put your name on it. That's all I say. Be a man or a woman. Put your name on it.
Well, I'd like to hear about it, potheads.
How the fuck you gonna know how to be great if you don't study greatness? Look at the game change.
Donuts.
If you want a battle, it's either that you will or you won't.
You know, you're not a bad-looking man, Mr. Gals.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair.
There's something wrong with us. Something very, very wrong with us.
Hey, man!
Mohr Stories podcast. I'm thrilled. You know, a lot of times comics come on the podcast, and they're like friends of mine. But then this is like other level, one of my oldest, bestest, sweetest friends in the world. And I think that's how America feels about you.
Oh,
everybody
so
likes,
sweet.
It's true. Everybody likes Louie Anderson, who is in Las Vegas all the time at the Plaza Hotel and Casino. If you're ever in Las Vegas, go see Louie at the Plaza Hotel and Casino. No one's nicer to their fans. No one does a better show. When I went and saw you, you were sharing a dressing room with Thunder from Down Under.
Oh, yeah.
They were nice guys.
They are. I mean, you know, and they are so, you know, they just walk around without stuff on, and you just go, you shouldn't. That's illegal.
Well, if you have
the girls, though, when you watch the girls in the thing, I just want to say about the women who go and see that show. Like, I thought guys were bad. You know, nasty people.
Yeah.
The women at those strip shows, they have to be removed sometimes. They grab the things and the other things and
things. Louie works clean too. Louie's like
you're
like,
fucking right.
Yeah, motherfucker. Fucking fuck.
But you know, it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't if I thought I used to, you know, right when I started, I was a F-bomb. You know, very cynical, kind of Rickles type comic.
Is this in Minnesota?
Yeah.
Do you think that was a defense mechanism carried over from childhood? Because you wrote a lot of books about using comedy as a defense mechanism for like being bullied. Maybe you went up on stage and hit the audience before they had the opportunity to judge you.
I wanted them to know that I would, you know.
Yeah.
But then I found my true vein of love that, you know, comics are constantly avoiding.
What's that?
Well, you know, comics are, you know, like I heard a guy say on Facebook the other day, I walked 12 people in the audience. And I thought, do you even know what you walk? You're proud of walking 12 audience members? It
is amazing. Like it's a very good point. There are comics that like other comics will go, oh, it's great. He just walks the room.
Yeah, but I don't want the room walked.
I don't want the room walk either. I have a mortgage.
Yeah. I want you to be edgy, and I want you to be relevant, and I want you to be alternative, and I want you to be so current that I can't believe I haven't heard what you're saying, but you're not.
Yeah.
You know who's current? The guy, you know who's good? The comic who performs in Kabul with the suicide bombers in the front row and takes after them. But you take after Bill from Cincinnati? Do you think Bill? You walk Bill and Alice from Cincinnati? You've done nothing. Lenny Bruce did the last stuff. And that destroyed him. Yeah. So the comics, that whole thing about, I like to be relevant. No, you like to be a dick. You like to be relevant. Relevant? Come on. You don't even know they don't know what relevant is, do they?
I don't think in the dictionary sense of the word, I think you're absolutely right. I just want to be relevant. I want to be edgy and relevant. I think it's one or the other.
I want to be rich and famous.
I'll just take rich. I've traded in my
fame. Yeah.
Fuck that.
I just had to take 4 pictures on the way up here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you want the
money.
I
had to hold the camera on 3 of them. Good night,
Cato.
everybody. I'll be here all week.
Yes, he will. At the Plaza Hotel and Casino. That is the big question. Like, would you rather be rich or famous? And I always tell everybody, like, Cato Kalin's famous.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any money.
Yeah.
I'd rather be rich.
I think he does.
But we're lucky as comics because it's the greatest safety net of all time. Like when all hell breaks loose, when personal life, family, whatever, you go out on stage and just it all goes away and you get to just do what you do.
Isn't it? We are the only entertainers, maybe dancers too. I always say dancers might be in this group, who get to exercise the trouble they're in while they're performing.
Yeah, my wife.
Singers maybe a little bit, but singers have to sing those songs.
Yeah, it's hard to like exercise your family troubles when you're singing "Boom Boom Boom." Let's go back to my room so we can do it all night, and you can make me feel tight.
Wow.
Or right, or one or the other.
How many times have you? I don't know what that song is.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
Let's go back to my room.
I know, but like.
So I'm working through some personal stuff. Why don't let's open the show with that.
Boom, boom, boom.
My father hit me with a back with an oar. Let me.
You guys had oars?
Yeah. let me open with boom, boom, boom. But I think you're right with dancers. My wife was a dancer, and she's the one that hit me to the fact that like. The dancers, just to go sideways real quick, they're way more extraordinary than comics.
They're more extraordinary than anyone because there's no guarantee of anything as a dancer.
And they get nothing.
Nothing. Blisters. They do, though.
You're right.
Like, they don't, like I go, these are people who want to do what they want to do. They, more than us. They're like, we have to get laughs and we want to get a little recognition. But they just want to dance.
And we're talking real dancers, not people that save the rec center on like Breakin' 2 Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
We're talking like ballet.
The rec center. Man, I used to go to the rec center.
Yeah, we'll break it down. In Minnesota, you can only go about 2 months. It's too cold up there.
Isn't it terrible?
I don't know. I went to Minnesota one time to play at college, and it was the second week of June. And it was the most beautiful place I'd ever seen. So bucolic, and in a murder show, they would call it Tony. A Tony suburb in Minnesota where no one locks their doors. And then I was telling the people that picked me up for the gig, and I'm like, I can't believe how beautiful Minnesota is. They go, well, last week it was about 20 degrees, and next week the mosquitoes come. So you're here the perfect week. They actually said in all sincerity, like they weren't even making a joke. You're here the perfect week.
There's that 1 week. They're great people, though.
You told me once a long time ago when I think we were in L.A., we were at your house. And we were talking about comedy, and you said, the most important thing about comedy for you to remember, JJ, is no one can ever take you being funny away from you.
Right.
Ever. You can lose sitcoms. You can lose deals. You can have somebody, embezzle money from you or whatever. But if there's a mic and there's a concert or there's a theater or a club, it's like you are can never end. And comics, and I've said this before in the podcast, it's not like athletes. Like about 32 years old, the legs start giving out. Like I bet you probably think you're getting better now.
I've never been better.
Your ripe old age. You're 44.
This is the best year of my life. I'm writing a brand new special.
Really?
A brand new special. I have 45 minutes every night. I'm working on. This is the best I've ever been. I've never been funnier. Never.
What?
Maybe I was quicker and more energy and a different, kind of a sweeter, person on stage and a little less burdened by my years.
Yeah.
But I've never been truly the best I've ever been, because I'm reaching down into a new thing. My act is clean, but I'm really trying to make it beautiful, really, really beautiful right now.
This will tie back to the comics that like walking the room. You and me talking about how I don't feel like I've ever been better either, and we're both happy.
Right.
And those comics on Facebook that say they walk 12 people.
Yeah.
It seems like if you're a comic and you're happy, it enrages other comics.
Yeah.
If you don't,
it's really true. It's funny. I don't have any. People should do what they want. You want to walk the room. But I don't get this part. Where are you going? Like I always was going somewhere. You were going somewhere. We were on our way to the Tonight Show. We were on our way to Carnegie Hall. We were on our way to a big arena. We were on our way to getting our name at the Comedy Store or in the Improv. We were on our way to line up with a group of people who we looked up to and shouldered up to. We wanted both of them. I wanted to stand next to the greatest comic.
It's a brotherhood.
I wanted to stand next to the greatest comic. I wanted Robin to come up to me, because he was the hottest thing when I started.
Robin Thicke.
Yeah, Robin Thicke. But that was all blurred lines for me, baby. But I wanted, and the same with you. You and I are both really we're workhorse comics.
Yeah.
We're churning.
Next.
We're not,
next.
This is my 6th or 7th hour of material. This is really important to me to get this, because I'm getting down to because it's just like mining.
Yeah.
It's really true. I'm going down, I'm getting some stuff that I've been wanting to do and thought maybe I was a little too much for my audience, but no, they went on the journey with me. They're ready for it.
What I love about your act, last time I saw you, was you were talking earlier about, you want to see a comic say something where you're like, how did he think of that?
Yes.
But when I saw you're very clean, and in the most complimentary sense, it was almost very germane and evergreen, but the things that you said, I thought, how has nobody thought of that? Like, what you said was so palatable, like being in Vegas, like, well, it's right there. We'll just walk to it because everything looks close.
It's
and I'm
true.
Like, how?
And you can't walk to it.
I'm like, how?
You can't get in the MGM without a lion pass. You know what I mean? You can't get in the front. That's
right.
how the MGM used to be that way. You can't get in the front door. You got to go on a secret passage through the back around the corner. Do you know? I mean, it was just. But anyways, that was beside.
No,
your point.
The joke was great. Is like you go, hey, we're gonna go to the MGM Grand, and it's like you can see it from your hotel. Like, well, we'll walk to it. It's right there.
Yeah. 3 hours later.
Yeah, 110 degrees.
The joke, wasn't that?
Yeah. It was...
3 hours later, I don't see it.
Where is it?
Just for a second.
Yeah.
On that note, the reason that nobody says anything you say, and the reason that nobody says or thinks of anything I say, is because we're inside here, and we only have the blueprints for that. I always tell comics, get inside yourself, go down there, because if you go outward for your humor, you're just going to run into another comic.
Wow.
I mean, is it true?
Yeah, and that guy that walks the room, no comic gets into comedy saying, well, maybe next week I can walk 15.
Yeah.
Instead of 12. And that's very important when I think what you said, where are you going? Like with this walking the room business.
Where are you going? You're going to be walked. The owner's going to walk you.
Yeah.
I don't want Crazy Carl up there anymore.
Crazy Carl from Cincinnati.
Because that's what owners say. They don't say the comics name. They go, don't have that crazy Jewish kid up there.
Yeah.
Or that Crazy Carl.
Crazy Carl, it just gives me fits whenever I see him. When I have to follow him, it's mad because then I got to go on stage. And I
follow anybody. I don't care what they're singing, what dance they're doing.
That's what I wanted to get to.
I'll follow anybody. I used to follow Sam Kinison, man. That was the hardest thing I ever did was follow Sam Kinison.
Yeah?
He'd come in the Comedy Store. He'd go in the main room. Wow, 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 wow. I'd do it. And he was mesmerizing everybody loved him. And he'd throw the mic down and walk out. Ladies and gentlemen, Louie Anderson. And then I would spend...
Did you guys have a nice day?
Yeah, no. I would go, I would walk up there and I'd go, "Can you believe that? Have you ever seen anything like that? Could I get Sam up here? Sam, could you guys give him the due he deserves? Come on, where is?" And they'd applaud and scream, and I'd do it until they were so sick of me doing that they started to say, "I don't want to see him anymore."
Yeah. What do you have to say?
Right. But, you have to remember that who you're following. You have to know what,
You're the one that put that fearlessness in me. You don't know
Is that
this.
true?
Yes,
That's
it is
such
true.
a sweet
I'll
thing.
give you a very specific thing you told me. And you've been I'm so glad you're on the podcast, and I'm loving that the listeners
What a
are
great
getting...
podcast, huh?
Thank you.
You know what everybody says? When are you going to do Jay Moore's podcast? Isn't that a great thing?
Well, because we break it down, and it's not... There's no...
You're just... Because you went in.
There's no product.
Your podcast is in.
Our words are the angle.
Yes.
There's no angle.
Wow. Our
but when
words
you
are
said,
the angle.
Yeah.
I
When
like
you said,
it.
I'll follow anybody,
Everybody.
and I used to be like...
I mean, I don't want to.
Right, but you don't care. And you told
But I'm
me...
not afraid to.
But going back to... they can never take your funny from you.
Yeah.
You said you did a rock and roll festival. I don't know,
Oh,
like
my
Madison,
God.
Wisconsin or something, like In Excess.
Oh, In Excess is next door. Hey, you have a dad? Was your dad nice like mine, was it?
But they'll laugh. And you told me, be present and slow it down.
Yeah.
And like, if it's funny, there's nothing to worry about. You can follow a band.
You can follow anybody.
And I thought of you about 6 months ago. I was doing a benefit for Wayne Kramer of the MC5, and Tom Morello went up and he did Ghost of Tom Joad by Springsteen. I emceed the event. And he's like shredding his guitar and going crazy. And then Wayne Kramer comes up to me and goes, "Hey, we're actually running early. I need you to go up and do another 20 minutes. And I'm like,
Wow.
I got to follow Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine. And I thought of you on that night.
Oh, you're so sweet.
And I just went out and I went, instead of going like, yeah, going crazy, I just went the other way and I went super calm.
Yeah.
And it went great because it was apples and oranges. That guy's playing guitar, and now it's this part of the show.
And only, just because you shred a guitar, he finished his thing.
Yeah.
He's done. They don't want you to come out and shred a guitar. And also, half the people don't like when you shred a guitar.
Not at that event.
Do you know what I'm saying,
That
though?
was a guitar shredding crowd, my friend.
Was it? Oh,
Yeah.
So what did you do? Like, what was your first? Do you remember? Like, I remember
When I followed him?
In Excess being on it was the Summerfest in Milwaukee.
When they were the most popular.
The most popular. They were just like, and I went, who are they? Because, that wasn't my band. So
That's not your bag, baby.
yeah, that's not my thing, honey. Hey, put some R&B on, slow it down. I want to get the hookah pipe out. I want to watch I don't smoke, but I want to watch you smoke.
I don't smoke, but I
And order some calamari
You want it fried or you want it
from
raw?
the Kalahari. I don't really want to eat calamari.
I just
but-
want to watch you guys eat it.
Yeah. I think you've always got it, honey.
Yeah, buddy.
So
In Excess.
I had to make that decision. You're exactly right, and I had to I had to not worry about them. I had to really steel myself, and that's what you did that night, then, right?
Yeah.
And it didn't go immediately for you, right? But then it got quieter and quieter and quieter.
What
right?
I did is I pointed out the absurdity that I was following Tom Morello shredding a guitar. And I go,
It's the same with the Sam thing.
I said, now I have to come up and I just have to use words.
You know what I used to say about Sam was, what do you think? How do you think it's going to be when he gets to heaven? Oh, hold on. He wants to see you himself. You're going to wish to me you never saw my face.
I'm the last person to work with Sam before
You
he
are?
died. It was August 3rd, Tulane University. I opened for him, and I guess he died April 3rd and April 4th.
Wow.
I opened for him at Tulane University in New Orleans, and then
Then he made that drive out to Loveland, which is a drive that I used to always say, I hate this drive.
Really?
Yeah, because I'm kind of a wimpy driver.
Wimpy how?
Well, because, that drive. Have you been on that drive?
Gas is on the right.
What?
Which
For
one?
10 years of my life, I never knew you could find out in a rental car where the gas tank was. But anyway, they go, it's a little arrow. I go, this whole
You always
time
got out.
I've been pulling up to the wrong side.
I've been doing it my whole life, too. Just
Yeah,
so you know. I
isn't
just
it
figured it
horrible?
out.
It's just something comics don't care about.
No. We just
They don't
turn
mind.
the car on.
I'll just turn it around. That's right.
LouieAnderson.com is your website, right?
Yeah.
Go to jmoore.com, click the Amazon banner, buy things. If you're going to go to Amazon, go to jmoore.com, click the Amazon banner. All the proceeds that I get from Amazon go right to my son's college fund. I worked it out with my business manager. So now it's great, Louie. It's selfish because now I don't have to put money into their college fund. It goes into savings. Boom. Hello, Hawaii. I hope they go to a really cheap college,
Hawaii,
too.
Man.
I love it. So if you go to jmoore.com and you click the Amazon banner, I will read your email at jmoore.com. This one says, I guess he wants to say this, Tracy Morgan, I just bought a laptop, Jmoores. Hey, JJ, I went to your site. I clicked the Amazon link before purchasing a new Acer laptop, as you suggested on the podcast. All I would like is a shout-out from Big Mama Got It All. Keep up the great work. You're the greatest. Whitey Brown. You don't know Big Mama Got It All, new character.
Is that on the show?
She comes up once in a while. I haven't worked her into the stand-up yet. I did her on Corolla's podcast and on my podcast.
Cool.
Basically, it's a very large, older woman where if you were her child, there's absolutely nothing. She'll defend you all the way down the line.
I love those people. Yeah.
So, like, if something was nutty in your life, like, did you have
Mama?
Did you have any problems? Just be you. Like, did you have
All
any
right.
problems? Like, what's going on? Like, what happened to your foot here?
I got my knee.
You have beautiful knees, Louie. I love your knees.
Yeah, but they're made for a smaller model, Mama.
Oh, that's not true. They can support you. They love you. I talk to your knees. They love you. What happened to your knees? Which one gave out? I'll have a talk with them.
Thank you, Mama.
Oh, it's Big Mama, but that's fine. Which knee was it? This one.
Both
this one's
knees,
all small.
Mama.
Both your knees.
Mm-hmm.
Your knees aren't acting right. They need to get in touch with the ankle. Look at your ankles. How beautiful. Oh, what? Huh? What'd you say? Oh, okay. Your ankles is fine.
When is her podcast coming out?
Oh, huh? Say what now?
Isn't that a good idea?
Oh, okay. Big Mama Got It on podcast.
And then have Andy come by?
Oh, Big Mama. Oh, so by the way, I got to thank this guy. Oh, Whitey Brown, you're a good man buying that laptop. You never put it in your lap. I know why they call it a laptop. So Andy is your dad.
Yeah.
Who, one of my favorite things in the world is hear you talk about your dad. So we could have Andy and Big Mama Got It all talk.
Yeah, let's do it some. Am I coming back to the again? Do you want to do it now?
We could tease it.
Oh.
What if they were married?
Huh? Married.
I'm so glad I married a white man. He's handsome.
Thank you very much.
I'm a veteran also, honey.
Oh, you fought in a war?
I fought in 2 wars,
Which
honey.
wars did you fight in? The Battle of the Bulge? Because that's what I'm seeing right now. And it looks nice. Which battle was you in? Which, Huh? Say what now?
What?
Which battle was you in, Andy?
Hey, any collard greens, honey?
Oh, of course I got collard greens. I got baby back. I got
ham hogs.
Whatever you want, Andy. I'll cook for you.
I tell you, when I was up there in the France front.
Oh, you was in France?
I was in the front of France.
Isn't it lovely, France?
It's a pretty place, but they're all snooty.
Oh, snooty.
They're snooty.
Would you hand me my prescription?
Yeah, Big Mama, I'll hand you anything.
Oh, I like you, Andy. You're cute.
I got us a reservation at Toulon 2.
Oh, is that French as well?
That's Irish.
Oh, Irish.
Uh-huh.
Let's have some Irish mist. Let's
give me a side of cutty.
Oh, he funny. Andy's funny, Matty boy.
2 fingers of absinthe.
Well, how many fingers now? You gonna do one now with them fingers? Now you get fresh.
I think you might need to do more than 2, honey.
Oh, me? I don't know. I'll surprise you. I'll surprise you. I got full of surprises. Louie, Matty boy, when he was a child, my engineer and associate producer of J Moore Sports, the radio show, Matty boy, when he was 1.5 years old.
I love the way you say 1.5, by the way.
1.5.
1.5.
Goes right up in your nose.
1.5 years
I like
old.
that.
Hey, when I was...
That's where Andy comes from. That's what's so funny.
Up in the nose?
Was
your dad really in 2 wars?
Yeah, World War I and II.
What?
Amazing. I know. My dad was born in 1901. He ran away and joined the Army because his adoptive parents were so cruel. And he lied. He made them sign a thing that he was old enough. And he learned to play the bugle. And then he became a pretty successful trumpet player.
How many confirmed kills with the bugle?
I don't know, but boy, he was a. I don't even get that, so that's why I didn't laugh.
Oh, like he killed people with a bugle.
Oh, good.
It's a war.
Do you know do you know how you learned how to play the bugle when you started out in the service? You just got a mouthpiece.
Yeah, and you walk around with the mouthpiece
play
all
with
day.
that until you could play a song on the mouthpiece. you didn't get your bugle, which I kind of thought was cool.
And then he was a great trumpet player when it was all said and done.
He was with Hoagie Carmichael.
Really?
Yeah. He came to our house in the project.
Is your real name Hoagie? Hey, Hoagie, did you bring one? Oh. I know it's a pun, Hoagie, but it is good.
It's a great boy. It sounds a little like Harry Carey.
I guess it does.
Not the voice at all. Just the highs
but just
and
yeah.
And here's a guy that loses a ball.
But my dad he'd swallow his word. That's how my dad was. Oh, there's your mother's cousin. She's a piece of work, huh? And he would because he didn't want her to hear it. So my dad would always eat the words like that.
Did he make you laugh, your dad?
Yeah, my dad made me laugh a lot. He made me cry a tremendous amount, but he made me laugh.
Being mean?
Yeah, he was a mean guy, but he was a drunk, so that was his.
So he took what he learned from his parents.
Yeah, he did better than his parents did.
Did the best he could.
And you know my favorite thing my dad did? People would leave the house that he didn't like, and he'd go, and stay out. And they would hear him and come back in the door, and they go, what was that? He'd go, how is it out? He'd lie right to him, and I'd be howling on the couch. And they go, it's pretty nice. And the door would shut again. He goes, I said, stay out. And they would come back in. He was fearless, And then he'd go, what'd you say? I was telling Louie how nice it was out. And then they would look at him, and his eyes would narrow, and they would go, oh, he's dangerous.
So you were his confidant and when he was doing gags.
I was his.
When you weren't the target.
I was as smart about his humor as no one else liked that side of my dad, that mean side. But I found the justice in that. He didn't like those people. He could smell somebody who was a liar. He didn't like people who didn't work. He didn't like people who lied. He didn't like people who treated him poorly. He held grudges like that. I got that whole side of my dad, but I've really tried to let go of a lot of it. But he did not like injustice.
He could sniff a phony a mile away.
Yeah, he'd write the government letters, and my mom would say, "Don't." My mom would say, "Don't mail them. Just say you mailed them, and then bring them to me."
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What were the letters?
He'd threaten the president, and he'd say you don't treat the veterans good, and he was a very, very.
Which presidents do you recall?
Nixon. He used to write Nixon all the time, and
he never mailed them.
My brother Tommy mailed one once, and there was a guy who came to the door.
No.
Yeah.
Really?
No, my dad was. My dad didn't mince words.
Did he threaten President Nixon with bodily harm?
I mean, I don't know what they did with. They were contemptuous, so people followed up on it because, you can't write contemptuous letters back then.
But you think Nixon would be? He probably had a lot of them, more than anybody else.
Yeah, but my dad had a way of putting things where you go, I better kill this guy.
I better kill Andy.
You know what I mean?
Nobody's gonna kill Andy as long as I'm in the house.
All right, Mama.
Matty Boy was 1.5 years old. I'll say it the way you like
me.
it. And he told his mother he wanted to be a stand-up comedian.
Oh,
okay?
Yeah.
And they're all like, oh, okay. And he goes, no, but not the kind with the drums. And nobody knew what he meant. And then like a couple, 6 months or whatever went by, and there's a TV commercial with like a shitty comic, and it's like, boom, boom. He goes, like that. I want to be a comic, but not the kind with the drums.
Oh, how smart was he?
So my wife and Matty Boy, they were raised like Comedy Veal by Terry, who came up with the name. Big Mama got it all, by the way. That was her wrestling name, and she used to wrestle my oldest boy. And then in the ring, in the WWE, it didn't really pan out. They were no.
Is this true?
No, in the living room, joking around.
I was going to. Yeah, I didn't know that.
A grandma and a grandson.
Oh my God, I just went. Because we were talking about wrestling last night. Because Vern Gagne, I grew up in the Midwest, and I had a big wrestling scrapbook.
That's a huge family right there, the Gagne family.
Yeah, and Handsome Harley Race and Larry Henning and Crusher Vachon and Pampero Firpo and Haystacks Calhoun.
They were all at your show?
No, they were. I was all there. I was all there every week at the wrestling place.
Oh, you were just talking.
I was
about
a big fan.
Me too.
So we were just talking about because I met Brooke Hogan, and that's how it all started. And we worked out together in the spa and in the gym. And so then I went to the TNA wrestling.
TNA, yeah, Impact. TNA Impact Wrestling.
And so then we got in, how wrestling discussions. Anyways, you can cut all this wrestling.
No, we're not cutting anything. It's perfect.
Well, the wrestling
this
thing,
is us
right?
talking. Yes.
Like wrestling, I think when you come up in a certain kind of family where there is violence and there is, a lot of neglect, and there is a lot of conflict. I think wrestling, you gravitate towards it because there's resolution conflict, conflict of the resolution.
And eventually good does.
And the bad guy eventually gets his or doesn't, but he's a good bad guy usually when he gets.
And I was going to say, eventually good does always triumph over evil in wrestling.
Because it has to, yeah. And so you're looking for that when you are hoping that you just can't believe that, there's no good. You have to get to the good.
If there was so much of this trouble when you were growing up, how did you turn out like this literally the sweetest guy I know? Like you're one of the kindest.
She was the kindest human being I ever met.
My wife was doing a pilot when she was about 11 years old on a lot, and they wanted to go see your pilot. You were shooting a pilot.
The Louie show.
The Louie show. And my wife and her mom couldn't get in because my wife was 11, and you got to be 18 to get in. And then they were saying, like, no, she works here. Like, she's filming tomorrow, and she's been on the lot longer than you have. Paige, the person that's the page, telling you can't come in. And you drove by in a limo with your mom, and they bugged out. They went nuts, and they geeked out like total fanboy, and they wanted your autograph and stuff. And you said, well, where are you guys going? And they said, we want to really go to your pilot, but my daughter's only 11 years old. And you said, well, just come on in here with me and my mom. And you drove them in your limo to your pilot.
That's so sweet.
It was my wife and her mom and you and your mom on the way to the Louie pilot.
That's so great.
You've been nice a long time.
Yeah.
So he was raised on Louie, Matty Boy was, with beats.
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 I want beats.
That's your drunk guy.
I was in here.
Let me tell you something. I was in here the other night, and this woman gave me beats, so I know you've got beats back there. Now get them!
Get the beats.
Hey, lady, give me a fry while I'm waiting. Will you? One fry, can you spare, lady? Hey. You owe our family an apology. We're mad at you. Why'd you do it?
We were winning, and you turned the whole thing around on us. That's the line in your special.
Was it?
We were winning, and you turned the whole thing around on us.
Do you want to hear why I did that bit? I never did that bit before.
And for the listener, your special, one of your stand-up specials, you close with a drunk guy in a diner, and he's just sitting at a booth, just beats.
Because that crowd was the hardest crowd I ever performed for
Really?
a special. They were noisy. It was the Park West. They were noisy. And I was nervous, and there was no seats. Everyone stood.
Oh.
So you know what it'd be like to shoot a special. But it was my best special.
I'll tell everybody to sit down, like a Velvet Underground concert.
Because it moved faster. So I moved faster, like you're dodging the shots.
Yeah.
And they were all so drunk. And so then I did an encore, and I was fed up with the drunks. And I went, hey! And I went in, and I have about 25 minutes of me in that character.
And they just cut it down.
And they just cut it down. And it was one of the best.
And that was your
people bring that up to me and say, I'm mad at you.
Your whole family owes my whole family an apology.
That's right. That's exactly.
Beats. I just got
your whole family. Let me drive.
I like when you say you have to be in you, that you only know the blueprint for you.
Yeah.
When I met my wife, I got panic attacks on stage. I started getting panic attacks.
You did?
Bad. And I had them when I was on Saturday Night Live.
Right. I remember reading that.
And then it was in all the papers. You remember the war, Johnny? It was in all the papers.
Yeah. Remember when he had the panic attack and then...
I didn't get it in the Milwaukee Sentinel.
Yeah. Oh, you didn't?
No.
Is the Sentinel still...
Yeah, it's bought by that Australian guy.
That guy, he's a crook, isn't he?
I can fucking listen to Andy.
Listen. He's got cougar head stuffed up his butt, I'm telling you.
Before I met my wife, I wasn't happy. I was miserable.
Yeah.
And I was in another relationship, and I was miserable, and I didn't behave the way somebody should behave in a marriage, you know? Right. But when I went up on stage, when I met Nick, like, just game over. Love of my life, star. It's like seeing a deer in the woods, is what I always say. And you know, because you and her have been friends a very long time. You love each other. And then I would go on stage, and I had crippling panic. And I couldn't figure it out. And I asked her, and she says, why don't you just stop? Just take just don't do it for a year or two.
Ah, that's a smart idea.
2 years I didn't do stand-up comedy.
Oh, that's a smart idea.
And
She's
during
smart.
those, no kidding, during the 2 years, I realized the way I behaved prior to meeting her made me sick. But that was the act I had. So I became my true self having met her, like a snake that sheds its skin.
Yeah.
But to do comedy and make a living, I had to go get that skin and like put it all over me. And it was like revolting.
Oh, it's revolting. You're
and she
exactly
said,
right.
just when you go back on stage, you'll just tell stories. You'll just tell the truth. And you won't tell at anyone. You'll be sharing everything.
Right.
And now all of a sudden people call me a storyteller. And I'm like,
you know, like, I don't know what your nationality is.
I'm black.
But,
I don't know.
But what nationality?
Irish, Scottish, German.
So, you know, all that, you know, if you trace comedy back to the roots, you know, the people who were kind of considered comics, like all the Swedes and, you know, where I come from, and Irish, I'm Irish and English and Dutch. And those are all,
I knew he was Dutch.
Pennsylvania Dutch. We got the shoes.
I don't know why they call it.
Anyways, they're all storytellers.
Yeah?
They twist stories and they shape stories and that's what we do. We're looking at the absurdity of the proximity of where we're at. I mean, that's the cool thing. Like, the best thing about my dad was that he would sit in a chair and I would say something like, "How are you, Dad?" He goes, "Who wants to know?" Right? But that's who my dad really was. So I just would take all that stuff that he did and all that stuff that I experienced. And I didn't realize, but just one day I realized on stage that every single person had all those experiences in their own way.
Yeah.
And those who are the people who become our fans. Like, they like your podcast because they're all people who see the world on a similar parallel plane that you do.
Yeah.
And the ones who don't are walking the crowd.
When shopping for car insurance, consider this. Geico has been saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. So if you're serious about savings, it's simple. Go to geico.com. After 75 years, they know how to save you money.
Yeah. And that's what's great about comedy. The longer you do it, you are the reason people have assembled. And people go like, when was the last time you bombed? And you go,
last night.
No, you did not.
It's a terrible crowd.
Oh, yeah.
Can I just tell you about last night's crowd quickly?
At
So
the
I'm doing
Plaza
my
Hotel
show.
and Casino, Louie Anderson Plaza
I'm
Hotel.
doing my show, and I know it's Friday night. I would rather never work Friday night because people are drunk, and they shouldn't go out on Fridays. They should go home and go to bed and have a nice meal. I want beets, and if I don't get, hey, put some gravy on everything for me. So all of a sudden, I'm doing this show, and the drunk Southern guy in the booth goes, "Yeah, wouldn't you like to know?" I'm doing a joke, and I go, I had the split-second thing where I was going to go be mad, and then I just laid back like my dad did in the chair, and I went, "Boy, you must be really miserable." But nobody really heard it but me, but it made me feel so much better.
Do you think the drunk Southern guy heard it?
Oh, yeah, he heard it.
And what, did he calm down?
He shut up.
He just shut up.
Yeah, and then I gave him a big hug afterwards.
Really?
Yeah, because, people are so in pain. People in the world are so in pain. I can't believe we're not just having a hug line. I know it sounds ridiculous, but the pain out there is at an all-time high. It's everywhere. I just can't believe we're not, like, how can we be these beautiful, complex human beings not embracing each other to help each other get by the obstacle that is easier to get by than you think. People are suffering, and we're going outward. We're not going inward. Hey, you've suffered, and I've suffered. So if somebody's suffering, that should be that's what we do comedy for. I don't care what anyone says. I want to alleviate the suffering, because I want them for that hour and a half. hour and 10 is the perfect amount of time.
But that's not why you got into comedy.
Yeah, it was. I just didn't know it. I that was why I got into it.
You and I got into it for the chicks. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
We're in Minnesota.
Hook up those chicks.
Is it a full house? How many?
Hey, what do you mean there's 18 seats open?
That's because the guy.
There's Jay Mohr in town?
No, Crazy Barry walked him.
Where's Barry?
No, I know.
How is Barry? He has a podcast.
It's great. It's undeniable.
Isn't that like #1 podcast?
It debuted at #3 on iTunes, man.
Did he say that? Like somebody told me that, and I go.
Barry put us back in touch, so I owe Barry.
Yeah. Barry's
undeniable,
lovely
man.
person.
That's
I
the
love
thing
Barry.
about Louie, man. You know, he'll go on stage and do a
Hey,
great
let
show.
me ask you a question. Where do you see yourself in
5 years?
5 millenniums?
5 millennium. Louie, what year were you born?
Anyways, I shouldn't have got so much into the love thing, but
no, that's what people need to
concerned
hear.
about the world. I'm concerned about like I'm just going to use Justin Bieber as an example. How old is he? 20 what?
Something. You know,
okay,
he's a kid.
So listen. Did you? If you and I would have had that amount of fame, we would be dead.
Yeah.
We would be dead.
If I went to college, I would have been dead.
But you know what I mean, though?
Yeah, I do. If I just had a red Solo cup in my hand every night and there was a keg down the hall, I would not have made it. I agree with you.
This poor guy has done very well for himself. And the whole thing is about, has he screwed up his career? Fuck his career. Is he going to live?
That's what I say all the time.
Come on, people.
Yeah. I say that all the time.
So I love Britney. You can't hate Brit because I love Britney. She survived all. That's an amazing thing to me. I mean, I don't, it's just about, people don't have any idea what people, like, you know what my mom, this is why I'm a nice guy. You know what my mom used to say to me? Louie, always be nice to somebody. You don't know what kind of day they've had. Is there anything that's more important than what my mom said?
Or anything simpler.
Yeah. You don't know what kind of day they had.
Yeah.
And at the time I go, oh, what kind of, I was kind of like, what do you mean? What is that?
That's how you talked as a kid?
Yeah.
No wonder
why is everybody get on?
No wonder your dad was so irritable. His kid talked like a weirdo.
How did he? Huh? That's my kid, Jay. Watch it. Huh?
I tell you what.
That's little Louie.
Oh, that's a little.
Hey, little Louie, once you put it into cartoon form, your entire childhood, you're an Emmy Award winner. That's like hot stuff.
That was a nice thing. I was shocked the night I won that Emmy.
Do you know who you're up against?
Yeah. Ed Asner, Robin Williams, the guy who did Pinky and the Brain.
Yeah.
What are we going to do today, Brain?
Take over the world.
Again?
That was really funny, but, and when you're nominated, then they have the camera guy gets down right in front of you and puts the camera on, and I go, what? Does he know then they announce my name, and I go, I want an Emmy.
Where is the Emmy right now?
I got it in my pocket
here. I like to carry it. Flavor Flav.
I was wondering why you have such a big coat.
Oh.
Is it at your house? Do you have it?
Yeah, it's at my house with my other Emmy.
2 Emmys. They're friends. Do you ever make them talk to each other like you're playing with dolls?
I make them talk to my Humanitas Awards. They're the most important ones.
Yeah? How do you get one of those?
3 of the Life with Louie shows. One was about death and dying of my grandma. One was about homelessness, and one was about animal cruelty.
You did all that in a cartoon starring you as a child?
I did.
That's a tough hustle. Was it a hard sell to the network? Or did the network
it was a little bit of a hard sell and to me at first. And then the network, Margaret Lesh really did it all, the woman who kind of ran Fox Kids. And the guy took the pictures of Life with Louie, and then he put them underneath my act. And, in my act, in my first special, I did my dad's voice, I did my mom's voice, and I did little Louie, me as a kid. Yeah. Jeez! And then so when I did...
Please do it again.
Jeez! Hey, what are you trying to do? I'm trying to ruin my whole life. And so then every time my voice would go there, he would put the picture of the character he wanted to do. He was very smart. He took my VHS and then I go, oh, I see it. Okay, we could do it. And here's the greatest part about Life with Louie. This is it. This is the best part. I have 100,000 fans in Istanbul, Turkey, who love Life with Louie and want me to come there. And I have 100,000 fans in Romania, and I have fans all over the world who love Andy and who love Life with Louie. So I accomplished.
You gave your father eternal life.
I did. I made him a nice guy too.
Because that's the outcome you wanted. But yeah, it's beautiful.
That's the outcome he wanted.
Oh, he just wasn't equipped for it. We're going to take a break, commercial, and be back in, 2 minutes? Maybe less. Hang in there.
Forgetting Valentine's Day is as bad as forgetting her birthday or your anniversary. You just can't do it, and you can't wait until the last minute. Look, Valentine's Day is right around the corner. Don't forget. Get 100 blooms of love with a free glass vase for just $19.99. That is a ridiculously great deal. Or upgrade. Add gourmet chocolates and a teddy bear for just $9.99 more. Just use my code CRAB. 100 gorgeous and colorful blooms, huge bouquet. Pro Flowers is quick, easy. Delivery on Valentine's Day is guaranteed, or they will give you your money back. You can't beat the price or convenience. Best value? Get it done early. Choose the delivery date and check it off the list. Even if you already have Valentine's Day plans, you still need flowers delivered. It's a must. It's what you're supposed to do. It's the right thing to do. Pro Flowers are guaranteed to last 7 days or your money back. Anything goes wrong, they just keep giving you your money back. You got to do it. It's a no-brainer. Here's the only way to get this amazing Valentine's Day deal. 100 blooms of love with free glass vase for just $19.99, or upgrade and add chocolates and a teddy bear for just $10 more. Go to proflowers.com, click on the blue microphone in the top right corner and type in CRAB. That's proflowers.com. Click on the microphone and type in CRAB. Order now. This deal expires soon. If you haven't heard yet, postage rates have changed again. You know what that means? The post office is going to be even more crowded than usual. Yuck. That's why you need Stamps.com. Don't go to the post office. With Stamps.com, you will eliminate those time-consuming trips to the post office, parking, waiting in line. Yikes. Who needs it? Get Stamps.com, buy and print official U.S. postage for any letter or package using your own computer and printer, and Stamps.com always updates the postage rates for you automatically. So you will never have to go to the post office again, and you will always get the exact postage you need the instant you need it. You'll never have to go to the post office again. Did I say that? I'll say it again. You'll never have to go to the post office again. Right now, use my last name, Mohr, M-O-H-R, for this special offer, no risk trial, plus $110 bonus offer that includes a digital scale and up to $55 free postage. Don't wait. Go to Stamps.com before you do anything else. Click on the microphone at the top of the homepage and type in my last name, Mohr, M-O-H-R. That's Stamps.com. Enter Mohr.
Don't ever miss Louie Anderson when he's in Las Vegas at the Plaza Hotel and Casino. Splash, Celebrity Splash, what was the show?
Just Splash.
They should have, my wife had a very salient point, they should just call it Falling.
No, that would have been good.
Yeah. Was that something,
you were like wonderful thing in
you
the
were
world.
Really fired up for the troops.
Yeah.
And you got really emotional. And I was trying
to get emotional easy just like I just did.
I know, but people.
I thought we were actually going to really take a break.
No, it was a little break, and we insert the commercial in.
No, but it's a very funny idea that.
What?
Because in TV, remember, when you would do a TV show, you would actually take the break.
Yeah.
And the band would play or whatever.
They
would go, no, but I just thought it was really funny that I thought, why does he keep talking? I thought we were on a 2-minute break.
You're surprised.
No,
you're surprised. You're surprised.
I just love that I am. Part of me is really kind of dopey and dumb.
You're surprised that I talk too much.
No, that I'm dopey and dumb though. Like that I couldn't put that together.
You looking for
really
Doc Severinsen in my hotel room?
I love Doc Severinsen.
Hey, Doc. So
anyway, so I'm sorry.
Yeah,
you were
humanitarian awards.
Oh,
Humanitarius. Humanitas. Where do you go to get that?
There's a thing. Norman Lear was the head of it at the time, It's a panel of people, and they vote for shows.
Wow.
Yeah, it was really nice.
What I like about Louie and the other things is it's all real, and that's the thing I like about you is you're completely real, and like you being on Celebrity Splash or whatever it's called.
Splash.
It wasn't called Celebrity Splash?
No.
All right, so when you're on Splash,
it's a show that's originated in Holland.
Where just celebrities just dive.
Yeah, it's a show that they did everywhere. They did it in England. They did it in Australia.
But when you did it, what I was going to say is when you got really emotional and people in America, people are very cynical and they go like, oh, this guy with the crying all the time. But like you're a raw wire, man. That's how you are.
Well, I mean, that's a really good point, Jay, because people get cynical and look at this guy crying all the time. So do you think that people I get that thing where people cry on cue. But I don't. Those are real emotions. I was exercising my gym class demons on that show.
Yeah.
I was able to climb the rope in the gym class when I got on that show. That was my only chance.
You almost drowned on that show for crying out loud. What do you mean?
And Dominican Superman.
He pulled you out of the water.
He pulled me out of him and Greg Louganis. But you realize that guy. I mean, I got turned around in the water. And, I didn't almost drown because almost drowning means they would have been pumping my chest and I would have been spitting up. Well, that wasn't. I was choking a little, but.
You know what I like most, Louie? Is that on a show called Splash, where people that aren't not necessarily used to the water, there was no contingency plan for what if somebody doesn't swim too good or gets turned around and a defensive tackle from the Detroit Lions has to save you. Like, I don't know, network, ever heard of a fucking lifeguard?
They had lifeguards there.
All right, let's edit that part out.
Oh.
Of me making
I'm
a big
sorry,
point in your defense there.
They weren't there.
Why don't we talk about Perfect Strangers here?
You did the pilot.
That's the most, that was a defining, that made me think differently about show business, Perfect Strangers.
For the listener, you were, it was Balky. And you were Mark Lynn Baker's part.
I was cousin Louie instead of cousin Larry.
And you actually shot the pilot with you and him?
I actually helped create that pilot.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you get any,
I didn't get nothing.
Nothing?
Zero.
Zip.
A good lesson in show business.
Which was what?
Well, it broke my heart because, first of all, they hired two funny guys, and they should have hired one funny guy and the other guy to make to let the funny guy be funny.
Well, they agreed with you.
Right. It's true, though. It's
they
really
bounced
true.
you from Mark Lynn Baker.
Yes, I found out about it through my agent. Not all these people who I'd worked so closely with. Nobody came to me. Nobody had the guts. That's why I learned about show business. Nobody has any guts. Nobody came to me and said, hey, Louie, we're going to replace you. Because that would have been the right thing to do.
And then you can help.
No, I don't. Yeah, and
you would be.
I would be honest and
pass
go,
the torch.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah,
maybe you'll develop something else with me.
And who's the guy? I'll tell him what's what.
Yeah, but thank God that's not my legacy.
What, being cousin Louie?
Oh my
cousin
God,
Larry?
I would have hated that. I would have been so mad at myself.
Why don't you get along with Bronson Pinchot?
No, I like Bronson.
I'm just kidding.
Oh.
You are.
Actually think
I love how gullible you are.
I am. I told you I'm a little dumb.
But it's weird. Like people,
I'm innocent in a weird way.
If you go on YouTube, you can see Louie Anderson and Bronson Pinchot fist fighting. It's really. Yeah. I don't know why you get that. I don't know why you get so heated up on the set of a sitcom. It's supposed to, hello, cousin Louie, and you just blast the guy in the chops. I thought it was uncool.
He was good in that thing, but it just it was the weirdest thing. It really kind of hurt my feelings.
Of course, and you learned in show business that no one's accountable. Nice.
I just thought, this is a different playing field than I thought.
So you just want to be a stand-up comic because you control.
Then you just want to be a stand-up comic.
You're the producer, the director, you're the coordinator, you're everything.
No, there's nobody going, hey, do you want to go to your right a little? Hey, get out.
Yeah. We need you over the right, the light. You're making a shadow over that other lady who you don't really like. My wife has been writing an alarming amount of my stand-up.
Really?
And today
so sweet.
I'm sitting, it's easy for me. She's an insomniac bad.
Is she?
And I sleep like a drunk.
Yeah.
And I'm out. And then I'll wake up and she'll hand me notebook pages of bits. And they're perfect. And I just go on stage like tonight I'll do 3 tonight that she wrote last night.
Tell me one bit that you're going to do, will you? Or do you not want to?
We were playing Legos on the floor, but this actually happened. But I wouldn't think to do it on stage. We were playing Legos. We were playing Lincoln Logs with our baby Mackie.
Yeah.
And there was a little farm Lincoln Log set up, and the little farmer wouldn't stand up. He kept falling over like he wasn't built right. And I go, "This guy's a dick." Because at 2, that's your last year you can actually swear to your kid, and it's funny.
Right.
And I go, "Mackie, this guy's a dick. Say it." And he goes, "That guy." I go, "No, say that guy's a dick." And he goes, "That guy." And for 20 minutes, I'm going, "Just say it. That guy's a dick." Look, and I hold up I go, "That guy's a dick." And he goes, "That guy."
That's all he'll say?
And then my wife, Nick, looks at the baby. She goes, "Honey, don't say that." And the baby goes, "Daddy's a dick."
No.
It really happened.
Oh, but that's the best bit. That's
She's
a
like,
great bit.
"You need to be saying this on stage." And today,
I
she
get
just
4
said to me,
callbacks with that if I had time.
"Do it."
No, but I mean, that's the kind of...
Yeah.
Those are my favorite kind of jokes.
And that's what's more fun.
If you could end tonight calling that back.
All right. I'll do it tonight.
Do it if you can.
I will.
I mean, only if it really...
No, I'll do it because
because what will be more fun...
Daddy's
there's
a
nothing
dick.
more fun than that, your last thing, and all of a sudden you go, that guy's a dick.
Daddy's a dick.
Daddy's a dick.
She said to me, she came in here right before you came in. She goes, she's been watching sitcoms in the room over there, and she goes,
Over there.
Over there. All sitcoms had catchphrases when we were growing up. It was like, sit on it, Dynamite.
Jimmy started it.
Did I do that?
Did you know that?
Urkel and what you talking about, Willis? Sitcoms
talking
now,
about, Willis?
There's no catchphrases.
No.
She goes, what am I going to do 30 years from now with all my ironic catchphrase T-shirts? What am I going to do with avocados, anybody? There's no...
Yeah.
And if I was going to write a sitcom, because that's the best thing, is she'll think of something and I just tag the hell out of it. It's like somebody hands you a snowball and you get to make it more round.
It's true, isn't it good that everybody... That's what is the best thing about comedy is. I'll give you an example. I do a joke where my mom... I've been doing it about 30 years. My mom, first words out of her mouth at a restaurant, "Can we get some extra butter, please?" And the waiter says, well, let us seat your party first, ma'am. Right? And then somebody gave me this tag. I would never write this tag, but this is a tag that somebody...
She's just in line asking for butter,
Yeah.
extra butter.
Yeah. Let us seat your party. Okay, but don't use the word lettuce again. Right? Now, that's a joke I would never write. No matter how hard I tried, I'd never think of that joke. But somebody gave me that tag. It's just funny how another tag...
Yeah.
works there, but when I do it and it gets a laugh, I get nothing from it. Isn't that funny?
Really?
I don't get... Well, I just go,
Well, if you were married to the person that wrote it, you'd get something from it.
Yeah, so, that's different.
It's
No,
communal
this is
property.
This is different. I'm not talking about...
Yeah.
You missed my point, but...
No, I didn't miss your point.
Yeah, you took it somewhere else. I wasn't
What?
talking about
You
Nick.
turned it all around.
No, I wasn't talking about... I wasn't... What?
I said you turned it around.
Hey, could you have everybody bring everything in?
Why can't we get more butter? Me and Andy want more butter.
You know what? A lot of babies were powdered. I was buttered.
Yeah.
I was slippery but fun.
What makes you happiest about young comedians?
When they really know what they're doing, when they really are in their heart, when they're really when they're singing singing their stand up,
Finally in their key.
Yeah, when they're just that, and when they're when they have that look that I used to and you used to have when we'd come off with a little pad almost in our hand. I had to go right there. This gave me an idea for something else. Am I right?
Yeah, rubbing your hands together,
Yeah,
scheming.
yeah. I got the drugs.
Yeah.
But the drug is the stand-up.
The next sentence.
And you just want to go there, get in your car, and be able to do 5 minutes at the late show at the next place.
Yeah.
Just to work out this, because you're just trying, we're trying to, I'm trying to write the best joke in the world.
Right, and they're never. Buddy Hackett told me they're never done. You gotta
yeah.
peel the onion.
It's true.
And then he took a shot of tequila and headbutted my face.
Did he?
No.
Oh,
that part.
But that I well, I didn't know. See how dumb I am?
You're not dumb. You're
I'm not
sweet.
dumb, but.
God damn
Here's what you should do. This should be a mustache over here.
Louie's using the mic cord as a monocle. That's why me and Matty Boy were laughing. But for some reason,
I worked out for 15 years on a tag, and I finally got it this year. My mom used to make my brother and I guess the price she paid for her clothing.
Yeah,
because she got such a deal on it. Kids, what do you think I got this outfit for? And so for years I do this. $700, Louie. Nothing. It wasn't much of a joke, but it got me to the next part.
Right.
So this year, finally, I got the joke. Kids, what do you think I get this outfit for? I go, Halloween.
And now it's a total. Not only do you get to the next point, but you get a huge laugh in the interim.
Yeah, and then I just go, well, if you had a hat.